Hello, everybody. Miss Debbie here. It's nice to see you this evening, and thank you for joining me for this edition of Bedtime Stories. So let's begin. Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you? How are you? Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you today? I hope you had a great day. Maybe it was rainy, maybe it was sunny, but regardless, it's still a wonderful day. So, did you go somewhere today? Did mommy drop you off at the park to play with your friends or a babysitter? Maybe you went to school or a daycare, Nana's house, or your cousin's house or something. Sometimes my mommy takes me over to my friend's house to play. Sometimes she's gone a little while, and sometimes she's gone all day. But my mommy comes back, my mommy comes back, my mommy comes back to get me. My mommy comes back, she always comes back, she never would forget me. That's a very important song in my household. And it's also a feel-good song. So we like to exercise our fingers before we go to bed. And play the thumbkin game. So wiggle out your fingers, make your fists, put them in your lap. And let's have our fingers greet each other. Where is Thumbkin? Where is Thumbkin? Here I am, here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away, run away. Where is Pointer? Where is Pointer? Here I am, here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away, run away. Where is Tall Lady? Where is Tall Lady? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, ma'am? Very well, I thank you. Stride away. Stride away. Where is Ring Man? Where is Ring Man? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away. Run away. Where is Pinky? Where is Pinky? Here I am. Here I am. How are you today, dude? Very well, I thank you. Skip away. Skip away. All right. Shake out your hands, rub them together, squeeze your fingers, play the piano, upside down piano. Oh, give a good stretch. Oh, take a deep breath. That's a good one. Now we can snuggle in for our story. The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Axel Scheffler. This is one of my favorite books in the whole wide world. The Snail and the Whale. Let's see. Published by Dial Books for Young Readers. This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big gray-blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. He's got his little snail shell on his back. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. And there she is on the rock. The rock and other rocks are all covered with barnacles. Look at the ships way out on the ocean. And the lighthouse and the ships in the dock. These are the other snails in the flock who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock. and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wiggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sniffed and sighed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a ride." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Ride wanted around the world." So where snails crawl, they don't leave footprints, they leave a trail. And that's what she wrote, "Ride wanted around the world." Maybe you'd like a ride around the world. I would. This is the whale who came one night. Oh boy. When the tide was high and the stars were bright. And that's very important. When the tide is high, the water is deep, so the whale can get closer to the shore. A humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale, all right? A tale can be a tale, or a tale can be a story. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." So here she is getting on to the whale's tail. And let's see. Is she up there? Not yet. There, look at how close to the shore he's getting. This is the sea so wild and free that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far off lands. What do you call those birds? Yes, penguins, you're right. And icebergs. Oh, do you see the seals? With fiery mountains and golden sands. Wow, I see looks like a baboon in a tree, a tortoise down there. There's the fiery volcano, golden sands. What else? Pretty looking birds. And there's the little snail on the tail of the whale. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Hold on, snail, don't fall off. Oh, look at those waves like that are pretty scary. Don't go in the water when there are big waves like that. These are the caves beneath the waves, where colorful fish with leathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam past the whale and the snail on his tail. So now they're underwater. And look at those sharks with their toothy grins. Hideous toothy grins. This is the sky so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning, flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of a whale. So that's when the skies are nice. There's two cribs doing the do-si-do. And this is when the zigzag lightning comes and the storms come and the waves crash against the rocks. Hold on, snail. It's a good thing they kind of have like a suction on their own little tails. And she gazed at the sky the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all, and she said to the whale, I feel so small. Look at that beautiful landscape. Look at that, eagles and white-capped mountains and bears. She shouldn't feel so small. She's beautiful the way she is. But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with her ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. Right? I'm not a fan of speedboats in lakes and rivers. It just makes it kind of dangerous. And this is the tide slipping away. So in this picture, you can see the speedboats in the distance, and the whale tried to get out of the way, and now the tide is slipping away. So remember when the tide was in and the water was high, plenty of room for the whale, and now the tide is pulling away, and there's not enough room for the whale to swim. This is very serious. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. Quick, off the sand, back to the sea, cried the snail. I can't move on land, I'm too big, moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, I've got it, she cried, and started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. This is very, very serious. A beached whale. That's what they call it when a whale is on the beach. And he can't move on land. And there's the little snail, and there's the whale looking sad. So the little snail said, I know what I have to do. Have you ever seen a whale on a beach? It's very sad. But this story has a happy ending. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is, okay, so here's the teacher ringing the bell, and the children are running in from their recess, and now she's telling them to sit straight in their chairs. She's going to begin their lesson. And this is the blackboard that you write on with chalk. It's black as soot. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail, a snail. The teacher turns pale. Look, say the children, it's leaving a trail. And this is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, save the whale. These are the children running from school, fetching the firemen and digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. So digging a pool around the whale and keeping the whale wet. Now, other than that, it's okay for the whale to be out of the water because whales are mammals and they breathe air. Like you and me, they breathe air. And this is the tide coming back into the bay. There's the little snail on his back. And these are the villagers shouting, hooray! As the whale and the snail traveled safely away. See, a good happy ending. Back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, how time's flown, and my little snail, haven't you grown? So that's the flock of snails on the rock. And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of a humpback whale. And then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the gray-blue humpback whale. I hope this becomes one of your favorite stories, because it sure is mine. The Snail and the Whale. Lovely book. So, we're going to get ready for bed, because really these are bedtime stories. And how do we get ready for bed? Well, we wash our face and brush our teeth and comb our hair. So this is the way we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is the way we wash our face before we go to bed. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth. This is the way we brush our teeth before we go to bed. This is the way we comb our hair, comb our hair, comb our hair. This is the way we comb our hair before we go to bed. This is the way we blow a kiss, blow a kiss, blow a kiss. This is the way we blow a kiss before we go to bed. Mwah! So, day is done. Day is done. Gone the sun. From the land, from the hills, from the sky. All is well. Safely sleep. Rest is nigh. So we talked about that word in our other videos. When you say nigh, it means near. So sleep is near and rest is near. And that's a good feeling when you just finally lay down your head on the pillow and you put your hands under your cheek and you can say sleep is near. So, but they use that word just because it rhymes, right? Rhyming words are fun. Okay, so let me see what else I did here. I have a set list. Oh yeah. So when the sky is clear at night, who comes out? Twinkle. Twinkle is the brightest star in the sky. I think he has other names, but we like to call him Twinkle because he's up there twinkling. So, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish I wish tonight. Would you like to wish on a star with me? Just make a wish. You could keep it into your heart, or you could share it with somebody. You could say, Mommy, I wish for a new backpack. Or maybe Miss Debbie would say, I wish for a trip around the world on the back of a humpback whale. Any wish is a good wish. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Good night, Twinkle. Twinkle's going to watch over us all night, and then in the morning he goes to sleep when the sun comes out. So I have another book today by Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Axel Scheffler. And it's called Room on the Broom. Guess what? This is my second favorite book. Did you ever pretend you were a witch or somebody who could fly on a broom? Or just fly anyway without a broom, just going up? Oh man, I love that. I wish. So here's the witch. Why do they always have witches with warts on their nose? It's not very polite. But she's got a kettle or a cauldron, and looks like she has a magic wand and her happy cat. And she looks pretty happy herself. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, and long ginger hair and a braid down her back. How the cat purred, and how the witch grinned, as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed, and how the cat spat, when the wind blew so wildly it blew off her hat. So there's her ginger-colored hair. Ginger is kind of an orange color, and so is her cat. A lot of cats who are colored orange are named Ginger, and now you know why. So she lost her hat. Down cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his paws. Did you ever hear big dogs run? Thudump, 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 thudump. Maybe you have a big dog that runs. I do. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. I want to ride on the broomstick too. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The dog wagged his tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held onto her hat, but away blew the bow from her braid, just like that. She's holding onto her hat, but her bow blew away. The owl's taking a look at it. Oops, there goes the bow, falling down by the tree. Down cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with the bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her braid in the bow, I'm a bird, as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? So here they are looking in the field. Well, you could say the field is ginger colored. Of course you're not going to find your bow, but the bird found it. Yay! Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Bird can do his own flying, but it's more fun on a broom, wouldn't you say? Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The birds shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Uh-oh. So if you look at this picture, reeds are the plants, the straight plants that grow along the river. There goes her magic wand. Down cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. What if it fell in the water? How would they ever get it? Then all of a sudden, out of a pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on a fold of her cloak, "I am a frog, as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me?" "Yes," said the witch. So the frog bounded on. And here he is. He's found the wand. He's clean because he's just gotten out of the water. And this is where he's asking if he can come, if there's room on the broom. "Yes," said the witch. So the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. A moor is just some land, just maybe has some little hills and maybe some heather, not farmland, not backyards, it's just open land. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy. Here he is, jumping for joy. Then the broom snapped in two. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. A bog is such a wet, grassy place that when you step in it, squish, your shoes and your feet go right up to your ankles because it's almost like water, like quicksand. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. Wonder what that was about. Uh-oh. I am a dragon, as mean as can be, and a witch with French fries tastes delicious to me. "No," cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. "Help," cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes and said, "Just this once, I'll have witch without fries." He's really going to eat her. That's pretty scary. What kind of bedtime story is this, Miss Debbie? It's too scary. But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of a ditch, right, that bog, rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird. And its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch, and it said to the dragon, "Buzz off. That's my witch." It looks pretty scary. Dragon looks pretty scared. I think the witch fainted. The dragon drew back and he started to shake. "I'm sorry," he spluttered. "I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, and now I must fly." And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. There he is. He's standing the witch back up on her feet. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat, and "Phew," said the dog. And "Thank you, oh thank you," the grateful witch cried. "Without you, I'd be in that dragon's inside." So here they are, dismantling from their scary costume. They were all covered in mud, and they really look scary. Let's look at that scary picture again. right? There's the dog and the cat and the frog and the bird. And here they are, washing themselves off in the clean water. What's that? Oh, that's the dragon flying away. Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, "Find something, everyone. Throw something in." So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. She's making some kind of a stew. So, don't put in that, that witch is putting in a poison mushroom. Those red mushrooms with white spots are not good. But here's the frog with the lily, the cat with a cone, the bird with a twig, and the dog with a bone. Oh, but now she's going to use her magic. Woo! They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well. And while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom. Then out rose, oh, they weren't going to eat it. Out from the cauldron rose a truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a pool for the frog. "Yes," cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Okay, this is the Mercedes-Benz of brooms. So look at, they look like they're in a movie theater. There's a headlight on the front, a seat for the cat and the dog and the witch. The frog has a showering pool, and the bird has a nest. Is that your new favorite story? Could be. I love these pictures in these books. Oh, lovely, lovely stories. So, we have a feel-good song. It's called Skidamarink, and I hope you sing it with me. And we like to use sign language. So, as you know, baby sign language is this. You hold up your hand, those two fingers come down. That means I love you in baby language. But for the rest of us, in American Sign Language, you say, I love you. You want to practice that with me again. Point to yourself, say I, or you don't have to say it. Love you. Okay? A sign language is a language that you use your hands and expressions, and you don't need to use your words. Skidamarink, a dinky dink, skidamarinky doo. I love you. Skidamarink, a dinky dink, skidamarinky doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon.